Hello, people, and welcome back to the Tech of Tomorrow podcast, the podcast where we believe that the real technology of the future are the people behind the technology that's creating the future. Before we begin, and I introduce the guest today, please subscribe, share the show, leave a comment. If you are on Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, follow and leave a rating. It helps the show grow and it helps me bring on board more and more great guests like the one we are about to introduce today. Coming to that. Our guest today is the founder and CEO of Artmo, a commission-free marketplace for art that is also much more, but I will let him speak on that. His name is Klaus. Klaus, welcome.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for having me, Sebastian.
My pleasure. How are you? What are you doing today that we are one day away from Christmas?
Yeah, look, preparing for Christmas, actually, you might know how it is with companies on our stage. We are super busy. We always, work more than 9 to 5. So the next couple of days is pretty relaxed. I'm looking forward to that.
It never stops. Listen, why don't you give the audience a brief overview of Artmo and what you do and how long you've been in the market? Just walk us through it.
Yeah. Well, the company was founded already in 2017. So we started with a beta version in 2018. And you can actually count from 2019 onwards that Artmo is live. So, what's the tagline? Imagine a LinkedIn for the art world. So, a social network, a theme-based social network for everyone who likes art, not just buying and selling, also just interested in art. So, a social network with all the features you would expect from a social network, which means you can create your free profile. If you have a company, you can create a page, you can follow, you can connect, you can put up posts on your activity feed. We have entertaining content like our Buzz channel and an education section for master classes. So that's what it is.
How did you come to the idea of the company? Because were you in the art world before? Are you an artist yourself?
No, I tried it, but I'm not. So, but I was an art lover my whole life. I am an art enthusiast, and coming to that story, actually, when it triggered the idea, is before I started Artmo, I was living in Australia for 7 years. So I had my very first online startup over there, successful exit. That was an online shop for a retail chain. So I stepped into this world already back then, and then moved to China. And back in China, I got married with my Chinese wife, and she studied art, and I'm an art enthusiast. So the trigger point for Artmo was actually when she took me to an art exhibition at the Nanjing Art University. So at art universities, students, when they finish their studies, they have an exhibition. So they present their masterpiece as a final work of their studies. So I was enthusiastic, like always, and talked to these guys, young artists, and said, "Man, it's awesome what you guys do." And then everyone was actually quite pessimistic because artists, especially young artists, they don't really have a chance to reach out to the world. And it was a sad prospect for me to see that all this wasted talent, can't get ahead with their artistic craftsmanship. So most of them, they actually have a 9 to 5 job afterwards just to make their living. So that was quite a trigger where we said these people need a platform where they can reach out to the world because the typical problem for artists is they only get represented by a gallery helping them, promoting them if they are selling artists. But again, how can you become a selling artist if you don't find a gallery promoting you? So this is where the dog is chasing his own tail. So the idea was pretty clear. We need a community-driven platform for artists, not only, also for art lovers and people who just into art, so they can connect with each other. So this community-driven platform was the initial idea. And when I say young artists, it's not really related to age. Uh, we have young artists, they 60 or older, because they started their artistic journey after they finished their professional career, and they were quite good artists. So everyone from all corners of the world can reach out to the world through Artmo into the art space and art community. That was the initial trigger. So what you see today is actually quite a lot more. But yeah, that's how it all started back in China. And we moved away from China 2020 when Corona broke out. We took our laptops, we grabbed them, we flew and left China like literally instantly. And now the company is based in Europe.
I love the concept. You do see I used to write novels, right? And when I was writing novels, I was in social media spaces that were populated by writers, which leads me to my next question, because something I noticed in those spaces is that when artists get together, they tend to get together with other artists. So you never get to actually get the attention of the people that you need to propel your career forward. So what is the ratio of artists and art consumers or art aficionados in Artmo?
Yeah, we have, of course, the majority of our users are artists. You know, they're highly motivated to get on the platform. But again, it's about one third of the users we have. There are literally just people who are interested in art. And what we do on Artmo, we try to give them interesting content. It's not We're not reaching out to art lovers or art enthusiasts who necessarily wants to buy an artwork or slash not yet, you know. And if they want to do it in the future, they have the right platform here. So we have plenty of entertaining content, and so that's where we keep them going. And of course, and then there is the connection possible between those two, and that's how it works.
So what would you say is first of all, before we get there, what is your vision for Artmo? Where is Artmo in 5 years if everything plays out as you expect it to play out?
Yeah, then we have to first perhaps have a look what's out there already besides art. Is there anything like it? So in terms of art, we're talking about always art. So a theme-based social network for art, we are the only one out there. I don't know what people kind of creating in the basement and having the laptop on your knees, you know, and starting doing something, but what's known out there, what has a size like Artmo, there's nothing like it. Everything you can find online about art are shops. So there are commission dealers, you know, they take 30 to 40% commission. So, and we break into that because our marketplace, everyone can buy and sell artworks. Also, art lovers, private owners of artworks can publish and sell their artworks, which is also unique. So, and since we don't take sales commission on those sales, and again, online shops take 30 to 40% commission. Offline galleries take 50% commission on artworks. As most people don't even know that. So this is our disruptive potential. And another big disruptive potential is the fact that, and Sebastian, give me a minute, I'll come to where we are in 5 years. So just need to make a few things clear. Let's say you have an artwork and you want to sell it. You know the professional collector. You just bought an artwork at the gallery around the corner where you live, and let's say you paid 1,000 euros. So you believe you have purchased a product which has a value of 1,000 euros. But that's not the case because 50% commission goes to the gallery. So, but you're not into making profit with that one. You know, you hang it at home just for decoration purposes. So 2 years later, your wife tells you, oh, I don't like it anymore, Sebastian. Come get rid of it, you know, sell it. Where can you sell it? So if you have not an idea about the art industry, you might go back to the gallery naively, you know, and say, hey guys, I bought it here 2 years ago. My wife don't like it any longer. I want to sell it. Can you do that for me? They don't take artworks in commission for sale from private owners. In general, they don't do it. Why? They would have to tell you that they actually take 50% commission because most people don't know it. So they just say, no, we don't do that, only for artists. If they would do it, the sales price must be 2001 euro for you to make 50-cent profit. So, okay, long story short, you're frustrated, you go back home and say, okay, where can I sell it? You check out online shops. And as I said earlier, online shops also take 30 to 40% commission. And for the same reason, they don't accept private sellers. So, baseline, artworks owned by private owners are a dead commodity, cannot be sold anywhere. Of course, you could go on eBay, but eBay is not the environment you want to see art and purchase and sell art. Art needs to be seen in art context. So we see these two disruptive potentials from art. And then we see, and I'll come to again where we are in 5 years from now, we have to understand what is the target group Artmo has. So there was a survey done a couple of years ago back in North America, and they asked people, do you like art? Are you interested in art? And interested in art in this sense meant once a year you go to an exhibition or you visit a museum or whatever. So this is enough interest for someone to create a profile on Artmo. Because again, it's not about buying and selling only. It's a lot of art content all over the place. So 25%, 1 in 4 said yes, yeah, I am interested in art. And now translate that into the adult population worldwide. It makes it 1.2 billion people as our target group, because Artmo was international right from the start. There's no country left where we don't have a user from. So if you see this massive target group of 1.2 billion, I mean, I'm not throwing to you that we're going to convert 1.2 billion, but I'm just saying that it's a huge target group with a general interest. So disruptive potential for selling art, no commission. Interesting for art lovers only, and also private owners the first time they find a marketplace. So Artmo is the world's first B2C and C2C marketplace. So put that all together and then repeat the question, where are we 5 years from now? It has been done before, not entirely like Artmo, a little bit like kind of different. There was another platform only for digital artists, a very young target group. They got 40 million users in 10 years. So if we benchmark that, and if we put that next to each other and see, this is Artmo and this is the other platform, we can do at least the same number of users in half the time. So we're talking about probably between 40 and 50 million users in 5 years. This is where we stand. And this is the same traction you can see also if we benchmark that with social networks, not social networks for the sake of socializing only, like Facebook or Instagram, social theme-based social networks. This is a special topic. Yeah, you have LinkedIn, you have Internations, you have a few others, and they all have seen a strong, steady growth and literally unbreakable growth rate. So that's why we're pretty confident. We're on our way to 1 million users already. So that's where we're going to go. Let's call it 50 million users in 5 years. Artmo should become, if it's not already, the go-to place for art in general. And again, not just for buying and selling.
I love the vision. I agree that there is a lot of growth potential, especially on a target group that's 1.2 billion people. What do you think, what do you see as the biggest challenge you are facing or you will face in reaching that 50 million users target?
Yeah, it's just, you see my smile, you know, I started smiling on that question already. This is the typical question I'm just having on my plate when I'm pitching, because we right now in our 4th funding round, and this is the question investors always ask: where do we stand right now? Look, Artmo is literally not a startup anymore. Let's have a little bit of definition about startup. Startup means you have a business idea, you have a beta version, you go out there, you are in your development phase. Yeah? You build up, you develop what your product is, and then at some point you go into your growth phase because your product runs, your product works, your product is proven, it has a track record, and then you're literally not really a startup anymore. So we are beyond this development phase. We are in our growth phase already. So, which means all the challenges startups usually face, and you might know this phrase what people always say, 9 from 10 startups fail, one just gonna make it. We are this one already, because development phase means literally the product is not just out there, it runs, it's on full speed. So the challenge we have right now is that we need to speed up. There is no more big challenge in terms of developing it. There's no more big challenge in terms of, is this product liked by potential users? I can maybe later on tell a little bit about the traction and how we're going to get users on board. Now, it's how can we speed up? Speed up means marketing. Right now, we need to push and put our emphasis on our work and our manpower on marketing initiatives. So even if it's a fantastic product, you know, and everyone who's already on Artmo likes it a lot, we have to get the word out there. We have to be found. We have to be seen. We have to get users learning about it. Like, and I'm saying we're on our way to 1 million users. We including our social media followers, we're already by around 650,000. But that's only a fraction of what the potential is out there. So how can you reach potential users? You have to do advertising. Online marketing means online advertising on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all these other advertising channels. This is the challenge, and this is where the funding round is for right now. So the fundings we're raising right now is literally for marketing.
How big of a funding round are you seeking currently, just in case an investor watches this episode?
Yeah, all right. First of all, be quick. You know, we going to probably close the funding round by, I would say, latest early second quarter next year. Now we're raising 1 million euros. We already have, through our development phase, we have already raised 1.8 million. I mean, in terms of what we have delivered, it's really little money. You can see it how strong our team is behind it. With that little money to pull off what we have been pulling off, it's incredible. So 1 million. And 300 is already closed. The family office from Dubai. 700 is still open, and a few other tickets in the pipeline. So that's the situation right now.
So, question: you mentioned how you're currently onboarding users. Are you doing that only through advertising, or do you have other methods?
Yeah. What's the marketing secret here? Yeah. So literally, you can imagine. We have tried everything. You know, there's no marketing initiative left which we haven't tried for such a business model like ours. Online only, a community-driven platform, to say that again. So influencer marketing and cross promotions with others and everything what comes to mind. So for the marketing experts listening right now, there is this secret number, which is the CPA. It's the cost per acquisition. So how much money do we spend to get one sign? And again, some people listening to right now might not even believe it, but trust me, I can prove it by hard facts and hard data traction of the last 3 years. Our CPA is 20 cents. Means, yeah, this is incredible. Okay, quickly, why is that? Because we have this incredible wide target group. We don't need to do targeted advertising because literally every adult, 1 in 4, is a potential Artmo user anyway. So no targeted into age groups or countries or profession. That makes it so cheap. So if we have 20 cents CPA, you can imagine that is very hard to achieve if you do, for example, influencer marketing or other cross-promotional marketing activities. So having tested all those marketing channels, right now, the only thing we do, and that runs with this 20-cent CPA, is online advertising, like little advertising spots on all the Meta platforms, on Google, on Microsoft, and on. That's what we do.
I need to congratulate you. 20-cent CPA is something I have never heard before in 8 years, close to the marketing world.
Yeah. Let me one more point to that, because I know this is really unbelievable. But again, earlier I said our target group is 1.2 billion adult population worldwide. That makes it so cheap. Then let me tell you this. Instead of taking sales commission, we have a subscription model. Somehow we have to make money, right? So, and our subscriptions for the marketplace, not for an Artmo profile, that's for free. The subscription model for the marketplace is extremely cheap. So we talk about €1.50 a month or €3 a month for the pro version. So very little money. So the business model is simple. A high number with small subscription fees. This is how it works. If you have a niche product, then you usually have a smaller target group and you charge with your subscription model more. Orange is different. So back to that question. Any idea which region, which countries are right now are the strongest in terms of signups? You would imagine art, yeah, the biggest market for art is North America or Europe. No, for us, that's not necessarily the case. We're talking about, like, when we talk about artists, we have signups from countries you might never heard about. Yeah, Benin, Papua New Guinea, Bhutan. We have signups from there, but especially in those remote countries, especially there, they don't have a chance to reach out to the world and get their artworks known. So our fastest growing community for the last couple of months is India. So we're talking about thousands of signups throughout the months right now without making big marketing, for example, from Pakistan and India. So, and then this is how it works. And if you have an advertising running on Facebook, for example, and if you tell your advertisement setting, don't go beyond 20 cents, then for the people who don't know how that works, it's a betting process. And when an advertising is more expensive than 20 cents, because other companies say, put my advertisement out there for $1 or $2, then we don't have a chance. So it shows up, our advertisement, in those countries where Facebook and other advertisement is cheap. We're talking about those countries I've just mentioned, Africa, Asia, etc. So, and for us, we don't mind where the user comes from in terms of revenue, because we have paid subscription from those countries. You would never believe that people would sign up for that because it's affordable. And this is back when I introduced Artmo. Have a community-driven platform which is affordable, where young artists can reach out to the world and can publish their artwork. I hope that makes sense. It's a lot of information, but this is how it goes together. Of course, we have sign-ups from Western Europe or North America, but worldwide.
It makes total sense for the audience listening. What we're talking about basically is they are aiming at this niche market that's actually 1.2 billion people. They are doing so by charging a subscription to the marketplace, not to the social media, of 1.5 euros per month. And that allows them high volume at a low price, which means even remote countries where they don't earn euros, where charging 10 or 20 or 50 euros would be way too much, then these people can sign up. And since there are artists and aspiring artists all over the planet, what Artmo is unlocking here is it's opening the floodgates of many artists just signing from all over the planet and getting in front of people that can actually buy their art. Did I get that wrong, Klaus?
Yeah, no, that's totally right. Look, pick an artist from a remote country, one of the countries in Africa or in Asia or anywhere else. They don't have money example, creating their own homepage, maintaining their own homepage, putting their artworks on their own homepage. This is something they can't do, right? They don't find a gallery, but for €1.50 a month, yeah, this is very little money. They can afford a subscription on Artmo, and then they have their store page on the Artmo marketplace. And by the way, we still have a young artist that can't even afford this €1.50. We have a basic market subscription, which is for free. They just have only a limited number of artworks they can show. So still, this is the initial idea. This is what we always wanted, a gateway to the art world for those people. And then we have seen amazing sales in the marketplace, which was really heartwarming. Let me tell you the very first sale, what was made in Artmo. A young artist, a student from India, yeah, she just published 3 artworks. One for it was approximately like $50. And that was purchased from someone from the United Kingdom. And she got so excited because she never sold any artwork and she didn't have anything online except on Artmo. And this is what's so heartwarming, that we give them a chance that works.
So Artmo is a social media platform. So how can an artist get noticed on Artmo? Is there an because social media platforms, the ones we know, operate on algorithms, operate they used to operate on follower count. So how do I if I'm an artist, how do I go there and get noticed? Do you have to post? Are there ways to advertise internally? How does that work?
Okay, first of all, we are not curating. Curating means what galleries usually do. We are great curators. We show you the best artists in the world, the best artworks you can buy at our gallery. Look, curating, I'm pretty critical about it. They have to make money. Galleries only promoting artists where there is a chance of making sales. It's not only about great artworks. Great artworks you can find also from totally unknown artists, and artists who have never sold a single piece so far. So on Artmo, again, a community-driven platform. It's the same as it is on your LinkedIn or on your Facebook or in your Instagram. If you just put up your profile and then sitting duck, watching it, nothing will happen. So you need to be active. And you can be on Artmo in the same way active as you can be on any other social network. So what do you do on LinkedIn? You start writing articles. Yeah. You're searching for other users from your region. You start following them. You start connecting them. You start messaging. You have direct messages. So the more active you are within Artmo, the more likely it is that your community builds up. And this, again, the same way as it is in any other social network. And then with the artworks, if you publish them, they gain likes over time. So we are actually not curating. Other users curating the artworks on Artmo by giving them more likes. And the more likes you have, the more you show up on top. But not only, we have a default sorting, which is every other day random, most liked, and newest. So, and the next tool, again, I'm saying it the third time already, sorry, as in any other social network, share. The share function is the most important function you have on any social network. You share your content with others, to repost your content through in other groups. For example, Artmo, by the way, has also groups. So every content on Artmo, whether it's an activity post or it's your own profile or it's your artworks or it's an article you have published on Artmo, you can share that on all your other social networks. So what we tell our users, as soon as you have a profile, and if you want to gain traction on your profile, share your profile on your Facebook. Yeah? Share your artworks on Instagram. And that's the secret.
I love it. It's a great concept. One question that comes to my mind: what are you doing? Are you doing anything currently to actively target art buyers to make sure that the the balance stays between people who want to buy and people who are selling the art? Or will that come over time as the platform grows?
It's a bit of both. Yeah. let's say the business perspective from Artmo right now, and not the business perspective of selling artists from Artmo, just from Artmo, the business perspective. So we need to speed up the process. That's why we do the marketing campaign. That's why we raised fundings to get quickly towards 10 million users. So it's a number game. The more we have there, the more sales are coming in. When we start our marketing campaign, our big marketing campaign, which is going to start when the funding round is closed, okay, then also we're going to, let's say, promote the marketplace more than we have it done in the past. Right now, the biggest marketplace promotion we do is that we tell our sellers, which is not only artists, also private art owners, so how they could do it to literally promote themselves by sharing their content, by sharing their art. This is how we do it right now.
And are you having partnerships with art schools, art universities, or maybe networks of private collectors?
Yeah, this is a very good point. We do have pages on art. Again, similar like it is on LinkedIn. Yeah, you have your personal profile, and if you have a company, you create a company page. So the same on Artmo. We have about, I don't know, 12 universities right now. They have a university page, art universities and art faculties, companies, and galleries. So we provide them as well with exposure on Artmo. So that's what it is. And we probably would love to have a little bit more traction, especially from art universities, to have their alumni, catching up on groups. They can create groups on Artmo. So there's plenty of possibilities to do that.
Yes, I remember when I was in school and I had art class, and my teachers were each one of them so incredibly passionate about art that my guess is that if I showed them back then what Artmo is, they would at least be active users in there, if not even buyers. That's why I was asking, because it just makes sense
Yeah,
that an art university would want to give students a platform like, hey, here's a marketplace where not only they don't take 50% of your money, but you can organically grow and you can have your art seen by others. It just makes sense.
yeah. Uh, to, in order to have that, coming up with a little bit more traction, and going into that direction, you totally clear what you're going to say. So we would love to have the university starting an alumni group on Artmo, etc. So we have started our education space. So we have master classes on it. So who are these masters, these instructors? So we're in the process of recruiting masters, which we started a couple of months ago. So we have master classes running with attendees up to 400 users attending this live master classes. So in those masters, those instructors, they are professionals from the art industry, teachers, art teachers, professional marketing people, professional artists teaching some stuff about art to other artists. So we are right now reaching out to universities exactly for the purpose of what you said. So we hopefully having one or two art professors on Artmo. They actively teach art at universities to become instructors on art. So this goes a bit in that direction. This education space is something really special. And for everyone who is, with your business hat on, having an education section with master classes is a revenue channel.
True. How many employees does Artmo have currently?
So we have 6 in the core team, which we can call full-time. And then in total, we're talking about 11.
Mm-hmm.
And under these 6 full-time guys, core team, they are all freelancers.
Curiosity, what is your company culture like? Because I imagine very passionate culture, a very even artsy, maybe it's a cliche from me, but how is your company culture like at Artmo?
Yeah, first of all, actually, everyone except our IT manager, but in the meantime, he is an art enthusiast. He wasn't an art enthusiast when he started it. But everyone is somehow in his past career or in his personal life art enthusiast. So, and then these guys of course, including myself, we see the potential we're talking about. And if we see that potential, we're going towards the next 5 years. They're so super motivated for two reasons. One is they see the potential. Second uh, is that in any way beneficial for them? So what we do is what most startups creating is they have an ESOP, ESOP, an employee share options program. So we have that too. So 10% of the company shares are put aside for employee share options. And so every month they work, they get a little bit, a little piece of employee share options, and then hopefully when we have maybe in 7 years, potentially an exit or making strong profit. Either way, they will gain a lot from that
How
because
many?
they're part of the company. If you have employee shares, you own a piece of it, and
Mhm.
and that's pushed you.
How many employees are you looking to have? Because we see these social media platforms, the traditional ones we all know. We saw it even when Elon Musk took over Twitter. Some platforms have a very inflated number of employees, meaning
Yeah.
thousands of people employed. How much do you plan to grow it and to sustain 50 million users? How many people do you think you need to have under you, keeping the platform
Good,
operational?
yeah, good question. So we have to separate, if you talk about social network, you have the social networks for the purpose of socializing. Yeah, no special topic, which is Twitter slash X or Facebook. And they need a ton of employees just to get it going, to check the content, to make security not an issue. And then they have scene-based social networks. And the big difference here is, let's pick LinkedIn. LinkedIn has never had ever an issue with content, with political content, with content which they had to delete because it's offensive. On theme-based social networks, you don't have that issue because people stick to the theme, and that's what is with Artmo as well. So we can, like, say, we're not comparing our future manpower needs with Facebook or Instagram. We compare it with LinkedIn and Internations and other theme-based networks, and there's much, much less effort we have to do there. So, and then we come to AI. Unfortunately, the AI hype is out there, and since Artmo, again, it's a marketplace, not just the social network. So the marketplace means buyer and seller acting directly. Is literally the eBay model. So we are not legally involved in trading. We can plenty of the uh, necessary activities. They need to be watched and supervised cross, maintain this AI tools. We have already implemented AI for simple checking stuff on the back end. But again, Sebastian, that's not a number. You were asking for a number. But the number of employees will increase uh, from, like, literally with how much activities we put in marketing. Marketing is the biggest effort. Uh, we have already a strong organic growth. Let's assume we wouldn't do any marketing efforts anymore. We wouldn't do any advertising. We would still grow. So the relation between our user signers coming in from paid advertising to organic growth will be around 65% organic growth already. So yes, I can't give you that number, how many employees. I hope not too many. And by the help of AI, like many other countries, looking forward to that this is going to develop, that we can automate processes. A lot of them, much more possibilities here than only just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, your results on organic growth are pretty remarkable too, to be honest. So congratulations on that too. I see a pattern here because I had a few weeks ago on the show somebody who was talking to me and to the viewers about how social media is shifting from these major platforms to having he called it a geography of the internet where people gather in these theme-based communities that don't have, as you mentioned, the same issues that the big open
Yeah.
forums have. So I think Artmo is coming at the right time because you are leading that charge, and you're in the geography of the internet, you're occupying the art space, which again, as you said, nobody else is occupying.
Yeah, uh, totally. I can totally underline that. And look, we were pretty quiet when we started. You know, we didn't do any marketing, any advertising. We said, you know, can we have to stay quiet as nobody start copying it? You know, I don't think we are in any kind of problematic situation in terms of our growth and in terms of our traction. We already occupy that space. If you look at Artmo, if there's a tech nerd here on the podcast, you know, check it out. Check how sophisticated we have developed that. Every line of code is our own. We own it. Yeah, and most likely what's happening with social networks, exactly as you said, with theme-based social networks. Look, the biggest exits ever since the internet exists were with social networks. So we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg could have built Instagram by just throwing $1 billion on it and build it from scratch. No, but he has chosen to purchase Instagram instead of copying it. So this is where we are right now. So I know for a fact once we cross the million users, it will knock on the door and we get some attention. So I don't see any problem or difficult coming from that area, what you just mentioned. Instead, it's exactly uh, what drives Artmo. We are in a space where nobody stepped in so far because nobody has thought about the subscription model rather than commission. You know, okay. One more thing to that, Sebastian, just popped to my mind. Tell me any industry in the world where there is no D2C or C2C market. Everything you can think of, whether it's service or products, whether it's B2C, C2C, B2B, you can buy or sign up for online. Only in the art industry, there was no B2C or C2C marketplace. So this is where Artmo comes into play, besides the community-driven, content-driven platform.
Final question from me. How do galleries see Artmo? Because they are making 50% commissions on the artists, but you told me some galleries are there. Is there a love-hate relationship? How are you dealing with that?
Yeah.
You
Okay,
must
look,
be stepping on some toes.
yeah, I'm happy you asked that question actually. Look, let me start a little bit from the side. When LinkedIn was invented, every recruiter in the world had the fear that they're going to lose their job. Yeah? So now LinkedIn is the most important tool for them to work as recruiters. So LinkedIn has established themselves as a professional platform for recruiters and not becoming their competitor. So the same as what we do on Artmo. We have created pages, as I said earlier. We also have gallery pages. Galleries, in particular, can sign up for a gallery subscription, where they can not only publish artworks they own by themselves, they can only create profiles for the artists they manage. So the artists from galleries, they're not uploading their own artworks themselves. The gallery is doing it for them because they manage those artists. So, and if an artwork is being sold, they can still take a 50% commission from the artist later on. We don't care. We don't mind because we're not taking commission at all. So we have created a professional space for galleries to have a management account with their pages. And this is what we hope that galleries can see, that we're not going into competition. No, no, no. They can do that. But they have to like put up their managed artists. And then it works. And those managed artists put up by galleries, they cannot create their own profile. So by themselves, that's then blocked. Hope that makes sense.
Makes sense. Thanks for the answer. Listen, do you have any final thoughts for the audience? And if not, please tell them where they can find you, where they can sign up for Artmo, and yes, anything you have in mind.
Yeah, finance. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, 1 in 4 out there of you guys interested in art. Okay, just check it out. Just go on Artmo and see whether you find something. Let me tell you this. Artmo is easy to find. You go on Google Play, you go on Apple App Store, you just type in Artmo and you'll find it immediately. You know, that's too easy. Whether it's .com, .art, .ever, we have about, I don't know, like 60 different domains, always Artmo. And last final indicator, Sebastian, and then I'll thank you very much for this interview, is if you go on Google Play, for example, and you go in the category art and design, apps, art and design, you find hundreds of apps. You know? So the question is, how many of those people who go into that category in the App Store choose to download Artmo against all the others? This is a mind-blowing number. 70% is our app download rate on Google App against all other art apps in the category art and design. But that tells a lot that people like what they see. Oh, it was a long answer for just asking where can they find that. So there's a phrase, at least in Germany, they say customers vote by their feet. It means, you know, walk-ins into shops, and if 70 out of 100 choose one shop, it says enough. Check it out, guys.
Works with restaurants too. If you want to pick a good restaurant, just pick the one with the biggest line.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Check it out. And again, not only for people who are in buying and selling, just we have videos, we have articles, we have masterclasses, we have so many interesting content. Check it out, guys.
People, check it out. Artmo sounds great. Sounds like we have a future market leader to look back into as they grow. This episode will be watched several times. Klaus, thank you so much for being on the show. I really love this conversation. I hope people watching, if they like art, they sign up. If they're artists, they sign up because you can make money by signing up. Who doesn't want to, especially with their art? Klaus, thank you.
Sebastian, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you. And I'm pretty surprised about a couple of interesting questions I've never gotten. So it's awesome. It was enjoyable. We keep in touch. Maybe
Yes.
in a year we can double check where we stand.
Yes, let's do that. Let's circle back in a year and see how much you developed. Thank you. I appreciate that you enjoy being here. People, this was the Tech of Tomorrow podcast. Remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Support the show on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. The more you support the show, the more I can keep bringing on the coolest guests you can see in the space of business and tech podcasts. So that's it. It's all for your gain and also, of course, mine. Now, that's it. I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.